Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare God Nitai Nimai Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Jai Vishnupad Prasarajagacharya Shtotra Siddhivangre Sabai Charanar Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Vishnupad Prasarajagacharya Shtotra Siddhivangre Śrimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki All glories to assembled Lord Hare Krishna All glories, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकचक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति शिवदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपतिकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं श्री कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभान सुते ते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वंचकत्र सुकृवासन्दभ्यपतीतानं पावनभ्य वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभुनित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासुदेव गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते हरे यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुवन्दनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं हरे कृष्ण। Today we are reading from Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, text number 36. Manusyandanamastaya Manusyandanamastaya Sakutumba Parichadam Sakutumba Parichadam Aropya swam duhitaram Aropya swam duhitaram Sabarya paryatan mahim Sabarya paryatan mahim Swayambhu Manu, Syandanam, the chariot, Hastaya, having mounted, Satakaumba, made of gold, Parichadam, the outer cover, Aropya, putting on, Swam, his own, Duhitaram, daughter, Sabarya, along with his wife, Pariyatan, traveling all over, Mahim, the globe. Swayambhu Manu with his wife mounted his chariot, which was decorated with golden ornaments. Placing his daughter on it, with them, he began traveling all over the earth. Purport. The Emperor Manu, as the great ruler of the world, could have engaged an agent to find a suitable husband for his daughter, but because he loved her just as a father should, he himself left his state on a golden chariot with only his wife to find her a suitable husband. The next verse also, translation. O Vidura, and they reached the hermitage of the sage, who had just completed his vows of austerity on the very day foretold by the Lord. Hare Krishna. I neither have any qualification nor do have any realization. I seek blessings of everyone, of you. Manusyanda namastaya satakaumba parichadam. I think I read wrong in the end before. Satakaumba parichadam aropyaswam duhitaram sabharya paryatan mahyam. So we are reading, Śrimad Bhāgavatam. Śrimad Bhāgavatam Puranam Amalam. Human life is meant for self-realization. What is human life meant for? We went through so many species. I was showing this video to people. This video was prepared by Bhaktivedanta Institute. How a living entity struggles, in the womb of the mother for 9 months. Everyone should watch that video actually. It is there online also. Do you know we are all like a chickpea size one time? We were like a chickpea size actually. We come into the cloud, and when it rains, we fall in the fields and in the fields of grains. Father will eat it, and will enter into his seminal force. And at the time of father meeting the mother, we are injected into the womb of the mother. And first day we are like a chickpea size in 48 hours. It's like a chickpea size. Then it will become like a plum. Then from that hands and legs will come. That's, nails. Then the nails are formed. Heart is formed. The 6th month heart starts beating. Then we'll become conscious. Then we cannot even move. Head down, feet up. Sometimes mother takes very spicy food, body is burnt. Tiny insects, worms in the body, they start eating this, they start, biting this tender body. And we find horrible. Then head down, feet up. If the soul is pious, he or she remembers 100 lifetimes. Our previous lives we'll remember. And we pray. This is Kapila Muni telling the mother in the coming chapters. Then we pray, my Lord, I don't want to come, even though this is so painful, but I don't want to come out of the womb of the mother. I stay here and pray for you, please. I declared rebellion. For that reason I am going through this pain, birth after birth after birth. This illusion, birth after birth after birth. And once I come, once you come out, is there any solace? Adhyatmika, adidevika, adibhautika miseries you go through. Misery due to body and mind, misery due to other living entities, misery due to material nature, plus birth, old age, disease and death. 4 + 3 = 7. Continuously give trouble. What is little happiness in between? Some eating, some food, some sex life, some sleep. When we can counteract our problems, we think we are successful. Hare Krishna. Then we have to leave everything and go to a different place. Don't know where we are going, don't know when we are going, don't know why we are going, don't know how we are going. This has been going on since the time immemorial. You are listening? This has been going on since time immemorial. So, when we attain the human life, cats and dogs, they cannot understand this. But only when we are in the human life, our faculties are developed in such a way we can understand these things. That's why human life is meant for that's it. Human life is meant for self-realization. But the problem is asangohi ayam purusha. We have been there in the material world for a very long time. We developed taste for the matter. We developed a taste for the matter. And we love to enjoy matter. Different transformations of matter we love to enjoy. But a spirit soul cannot find ultimate eternal happiness by continuously enjoying dead matter. Matter is always dead. But because we are bound by the illusion energy, our affinity for the matter is our disease. Our affinity for our matter is our disease. Actually, anything you see in this world is actually our enjoyment with dead matter. Eating, mating, sleeping and defending is all enjoying of dead matter, that's it. And what happens? It keeps in our illusion. It keeps us in the illusion. Hey, you're this body. Keep on enjoying dead matter. If we keep on enjoying dead matter, what is the gift that we are given? Birth, old age, disease and death. Nothing else. Another problem with enjoying matter is as the affinity increases for enjoying matter, our aversion to make progress in spiritual life also increases. The more you are attached to the matter, the more you are averse to spiritual life. The less we are attached to the matter, the more we are attached to spiritual life. That's why in Anardhanivritti stage, sometimes practitioner is shaken up. Somebody may wear a saffron, somebody is, or is that full-time or part-time, whatever. Because Kali Yuga means everything is official, everything wrong is official. Sometimes you are so agitated by greed, sometimes so agitated by lust, sometimes so agitated by anger, pride, ego, illusion. But when we attain Nishtha stage, it becomes a little better. Human life is meant for self-realization means actually human life is meant for becoming free from the clutches of Maya and attain self-realization. So is it easy to become free from the clutches of Maya? It's not. So that's why you see sages doing tapasya for millions and millions of years. Why did they do that? They try to control the mind. What is mind? Mind means Maya. What is mind? Material energy. Anything mind tells us to do is nothing but an action and reaction of the previous past. One devotee told me 97% of the time whatever mind tells you to do is wrong actually. That's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first chapter, invocation. We need to get the blessings of Guru, Hari Guru Vaishnava. We need to have the blessings of Krishna, spiritual master and devotees. Then only that mission will be successful. Otherwise, anything we are associated with, every material pain is associated with, every pleasure is associated with pain. There is no pure pleasure in this world. What is that? There is no pure pleasure. But the problem is we cannot correlate. Hey, this pain is coming from this pleasure. We cannot correlate. One lecture I heard, when we try to enjoy independent of Krishna, we are sowing the seed of suffering. You cannot hear? Oh.
When I listen upstairs on video, I can understand.
I'm sorry, Maharaj. No, this one is better.
No, it's better. It's closer to my.
Oh, really? Okay, Maharaj. So, what is that? I'm sorry, what am I telling? Because we cannot correlate. No. Every pain is associated, every pleasure is associated with pain. There is no pure pleasure in this world. Because we cannot correlate with pain, which pain is associated with pleasure. And because we are influenced by the mental energy, we continue to enjoy independent of Krishna and continue to suffer. Haribol. So one lecture I heard, when we try to enjoy independent of Krishna, we are sowing the seed of suffering. But in every suffering, there is a seed of blessing embedded. Ever since I heard this, whenever I would go through a suffering, I would look for the blessing. What is the blessing I am getting out of it? And always something would come. Because of the illusion, whatever is temporary, whatever is useless, appears very important. And whatever is really useful and really has of value appears useless. Chanting. Every mantra we chant and hear is an eternal credit. We make progress. Every service we render to Krishna is an eternal, has an eternal benefit. But people don't understand. Finally, my conclusion is people study for 18, 20 years, 20, 25. And this education is telling you, you are this body. If you make money, you'll be happy. Hey, professors who are making money are miserable, but they are telling, you make money, you'll be happy. What a cruelty, huh? So whoever is actually trying to enjoy is actually miserable, but they are pushing their followers into that. That is really Maya, actually. Minute to minute to minute. You do this, you'll be happy. You do this, you'll be happy. You'll do this, you'll be happy. I wrote a book. In that I mentioned FOMO. You heard of this word FOMO? F-O-M-O. Fear of missing out. This is very big in social media. If you spend half an hour in social media, you will see 20 pictures. Your friend who went to Grand Canyon, or you went to Niagara, or went to here, purchased a car. I don't have. Ooh, sad, I don't have. People are miserable today, actually. FOMO has become a disease. I'm missing this. I'm missing this. Actually, this word came out from, this word was, coined by social media only. Fear of missing out. And that is putting you in anxiety. I should do this, I should also do this. I should do this, I should do this. I'm doing MBA, but I should also do that another course. No, I should do software. I should do this. I should buy a car. That fear of missing out, people are getting into anxiety. Hare Krishna. When somebody does something, oh, he has million followers. I should also have million followers in the Facebook. But he is very active in LinkedIn. I should also be active. Means Maya is telling, yeah, if you get this, you'll be happy. If you get this, you'll be happy. It's miserable. Literally, it's miserable because there is no Krishna. That's why what is very important? Sambandha Jnana is important. Sambandha Jnana means I'm a spiritual part and parcel of Krishna. And nothing gives me pleasure except serving Krishna. But of course, devotees preach, it's important. To the extent they are preaching for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, they are protected. And they find fulfillment. To the extent they are not, again, same problem. Oh, they have, they are a little better than me. They also have FOMO. This Prabhu has bigger following than me. That's why chanting is important. Reading Bhāgavatam is also equally important. Actually, many people after chanting, because there is not so much focus, you are not so inspired. But when you read Srila Prabhupada books, when you read Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Nityam Bhāgavata Sevaya, Bhāgavatam breaks faith on the material world. What Bhāgavatam does? It breaks faith on the material world. Aresh, Indra, who can be better than Indra? King of demigods. He controls the whole universe. He gives rain. But Indra is going through trouble. Hare Krishna. When Indra is going through trouble, what to speak of all these administrators? Anyway, Narsingha Chaturdasi is coming. Hiranyakasipu conquered the entire universe. Literally, when Brahma came and sprinkled water on his body, which was eaten up by ants, he regained his own body. His body became like an iron body. Brahma blessed him that you will not have any disease, old age. And because of the boons he got, death was not visibly there. And Narad Muni says, except Brahma, Lord Shiva and Vishnu, we all would worship Hiranyakasipu, doing arati to him. I have a question for all of you. How many of you think he is very happy? What's your name? Phil Prabhu, you are telling he is not happy? Hiranyakasipu. Hiranyakasipu, visibly there is no death, no old age. He has a iron-like body. He conquered the universe. He is drinking all these liquors. He is enjoying unlimited, he is enjoying all these celestial ladies. How many of you think Hiranyakasipu is happy? Phil is telling he is not happy. If you think he is not happy, for sure, a person whoever thinks Hiranyakasipu is not happy has to join full time today only. A person who thinks Hiranyakasipu is not happy has to join full time today only, because that's what we are trying out. We cannot become the universal administrator. Nobody will come and worship eternally. And President of America has to rule only for 4 years. And once you touch 50, indigestion problem starts, so many health issues start. But Hiranyakasipu did not have all these things. But Bhagavatam says, what is the nature of the mind? You have everything. Next to universe, people are not worshipping you. Prahlad is not worshipping you. Indra is worshipping me. Of course, he has to worship me. All the sages are worshipping me. Yes. Mind will not pacify. Mind is not happy. Mind is miserable that other universe people are not worshipping, or Prahlad is not worshipping. In other words, as long as we have this uncontrolled mind, no matter what type of progress we make materially, we can never be happy. There is a big, I think he has some affiliation with Democrats in New Jersey. He has a 27-room home. His home has 27 rooms. How many rooms? Compared to that, Indra must have maybe 1,000 rooms, bedecked with gold. But Indra himself is not happy. Then we should conclude this person is not happy. Today people want to show others by buying Tesla, that one, this la, that they are happy, but inside they are miserable. Happiness is not a thing, product. Happiness is a state of consciousness. You have it, you have it. If you don't have it, even if you have the whole world in your pocket, you don't have it. Walmart was selling 8,000 items in 1970. Today Walmart sells 48,000 items. How many items? Means 6 times more. So do you think Americans' lives have become better 6 times? Like 1970 you had X happiness. Today do you have 6X happiness? No. In fact, that happiness level has gone down actually. So one has to be convinced. One lecture I heard, unless you are convinced there is no pleasure in this world, you cannot become a preacher. For anybody to become a preacher, they should know there is no pleasure in this world. Whatever is there, so-called, is actually leading you to pain. Every pleasure in this world is illusory. What is that? Illusory. It appears it is there, but it is not there. So, okay, I'll give an example. Should I give an example? I gave this example before also, but I'm changing it now. So they brought gulab jamuns, rasgullas, and samosas, everything they brought. You're about to eat. You get a phone call. Maharaj is very sick. Guru Maharaj is very sick. Anytime he'll leave the body. Will you eat this rasgulla? Or your mother is very sick, you get a phone call. Anytime she'll leave the body. Anytime she'll leave the body, your mind is disturbed. If this object has to give you happiness, no matter what, it has to give you happiness. But it doesn't. It gives you happiness under certain circumstances only. Conditional happiness is not real happiness. If Krishna wants to ruin your happiness, he'll disturb your... Krishna doesn't have any role, of course, directly. Nature, your mind will be very disturbed. Even if that object is before you, you cannot enjoy. Why? Mind is disturbed. That's why the material pleasure is illusory. It appears it is there, but it's not there. And it leads to pain. Hare Krishna. So, in order to stay afloat, in order to go forward in our spiritual lives, we need to be convinced the material pleasures are illusory in this world. Not only temporary. Adyantavanta kauntena te shramate buddha. Arjuna, people who are intelligent, they don't find pleasures in these things. Every material pleasure, parinamam vishameva, it appears a nectar in the beginning and a poison at the end. First of all, we don't get what we want. When we get what we want, you feel bored. Like TV, first day, everyone will go and look at it. After 2-3 months, nobody even acknowledges the presence of TV. You get bored. But there is third case. When you get what you want, it is a package. A portion of it you like it, another portion you don't like it. For example, relationship. Yeah, he is very good, but there is a but. So in other words, material pleasures, what is that? They are temporary and illusory. But however, a person who is very fixed up in devotional service, or at least trying to become free from this world, Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. There is some sense enjoyment allocated to every living being. In fact, responsible sense enjoyment is given if somebody enjoys responsibly, but at the same time take a spiritual life. They can make progress. If there's only pain, people will end their lives. Marriage is actually one of the facilities where people can very responsibly enjoy, but at the same time make immense spiritual progress to the extent you can go back to Godhead. So you can detail all your weaknesses and impurities, in this institution, but you will make a lot of progress. Vedic culture is actually Varnashram Dharma. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. 4 castes and 4 ashramas. 25 years get trained on how to control the mind and senses. Another 25 years get married. And then take responsibility. Then you'll realize it's not easy. Because you cannot control your 5 senses, how can you control 10 senses? 5 plus 5. Then give birth to children and then vanaprastha. Slowly disassociate yourself with family. And finally sannyas. Today world has changed a lot. So Varnashram actually, especially in the Western countries, even in all over the world, it's not really working. One person went to his guru and said, I want to give up my job and want to go to Himalayas. Guru said, first of all, Himalayas, there is no snow. There are a lot of mosquitoes because of global warming. If you really ask me, then if you leave your family, who will take care of your wife and kids? Your wife will become a deadly enemy to ISKCON because you are leaving her. So if you really ask me, your basement is your Himalayan cave. Every day morning, go down to your basement, chant your rounds, then come back and do your job, take good care of your wife and kids. And you will make progress, they will make progress. He told me, he is still with his family, all his children are married, He and his wife both were initiated long ago. And they're still practicing. So today in ISKCON tradition, in our society, when the children, they get their jobs and they fly away, the wife and husband, they're moving close to temple and they're rendering service. That is actually today's trend, So, what is that? So once you marry, you'll get children, and it is also the father's responsibility to get them married. That's what Swayambhu Manu is doing actually. So, he's trying to find a bridegroom for Devahuti. And that's why he's taking her to Kardama Muni. Today, people, what is that? Even if the person doesn't have character, if he has money, they're giving, all right, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, I'll give my daughter to you in marriage. In India, 97% of women are officially abused. 97%. I read it before. Of course, Western world, nobody cares immediately. If there is abuse, they'll leave it. So in other words, more or less, because there is no training on both sides, just to continue in this institution is becoming difficult. Why? There is no training. But in the marriage, for marriage to work, husband should be spiritually very advanced, like Kardamuni. And wife should be willing to serve the husband, like Devahuti. Can you imagine? Devahuti was a princess of the Emperor Swayambhu Manu. Can you see their backgrounds? Very diverse backgrounds. Their backgrounds were totally diverse. Kardamuni doesn't have a bank account. And he was a sage. When he would go to when he would go for meditation, he would not come out for days and months. We'll see that in coming chapters. Devahuti was such a beautiful, lady or girl. This person, one day this Gandharva happened to see her. Just by seeing her beauty, he fainted, fell down from the aeroplane. But can you imagine, her husband is fully sense-controlled? And she could please him only by service, but not by her, not by anything else. Actually, in coming chapter, we'll see, actually, people who want to get married can take a lot of lessons from this chapter. This episode. Devahuti wanted to please her husband. This person, when he goes to meditation, he doesn't come out for months. Actually, in this coming chapters, it is said, she became very thin and lean and hair matted. You can understand hair is matted because, a chaste wife, she'll not decorate herself when husband is not, not around or active. We can understand why she became thin and lean. I really meditated on that one day. When husband is in meditation, he would not eat. Chaste wife also would not eat when husband would not eat. So that person is so deeply absorbed in meditation, he was not eating. Without feeding my husband, how can I eat? She was not eating. Wow. That is the reason why she became emaciated. So she did. Actually, it is said we put an alarm to wake up. Swayambhu Manu would not put an alarm to wake up. people would come and they would play all these wonderful instruments. They would recite, they would sing songs on Krishna, glorifying Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm sure same thing for Devahuti also. She was an empress. She was a princess. She had so many servant maids. But now, forget about anybody. None. She could, there would not be anybody to even look at. They were in a hermitage. People will go mad actually. But she changed. Okay, my husband is this. My father got me married. She changed. She changed her attitude to suit her husband's attitude. When Kardamuni saw that he changed, wow, this is the emperor's daughter, so many people were standing in line to marry her, but being an obedient daughter of her father, she just agreed to marry me, though I had nothing. And she's serving with so much sincerity, such a chaste wife she is. And she's serving me, with utmost dedication. He was impressed. Bhāgavatam says he bestowed her love of God in 1 second. She got love of God. And she gave her, of course, when you serve the husband sincerely, you will get 50% of husband's spiritual credits. Default. But on the top of it, he was self-realized. See, he bestowed, the love of God on her actually. But, what is the moral of the story? If you change for the pleasure of the spouse, A changes for the pleasure of B spouse and B changes for the pleasure of A spouse, who will take birth? Kapila Muni, Krishna appeared in his plenary expansion. In other words, what is the obligation for today? If wife and husband change for the pleasure of each other with Krishna in the center, who will be born? Krishna consciousness will be born. Both will become Krishna conscious. Both will be happy in this miserable world. Hare Krishna. Interesting or not? Otherwise what happens? During courtship, I can't wait to see you. 3 years after marriage, I don't want to see you. Yeah. Phil, you heard of this before? I can't wait to see you. Not 3 years. 1 year after marriage, I don't want to see you. The worst courts in America I heard are family courts. They level all the allegations. So, anyway, the point is, that's why tapodivyam putrakayena sudhya tasmat brahmasokyam anantam nayandeha deho bhajanraloke kashtan kaman arhat vidbhujamhe. Who is telling this verse? Rishabhdev is telling, my dear children, human life is meant for tapasya, austerity. The way hog enjoys stool, the way we enjoy halwa, hog enjoys stool. Same pleasure. We sleep, dog sleeps on the floor. And we sleep on this nice bedsteads. The pleasure is same. So human beings should not be longing for eating, mating, sleeping and defending, but they should long for tapasya, austerity. Why? Brahmasokyam anantam. These pleasures are only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but that pleasure is infinite. So those persons who are aiming for infinite, unadulterated pleasure, they should go for Krishna consciousness. So people who are doing full-time in the temple or outside living congregation, what is our goal? Our goal is to attain service to the lotus feet of Krishna. But of course, king is happy, king's servant is also happy. So Rishabhadev is telling Brahma Saukyam Anantam. Krishna consciousness pleasure is unlimited, infinite. You know? But again, spiritual pleasures are their pain in the beginning, nectar in the end. They're poison in the beginning, nectar at the end. You know? One time, one minister in London came to see the Avanti public school, Avanti school. ISKCON opened this school. And they said, we have a temple nearby. He came to temple. He liked the school very much. Then he came to see the temple. And on the wall he saw the board, chant and be happy. Wow. In ISKCON, everyone is a preacher. So what is that? Sir, if you chant Hare Krishna, you'll be happy. Really? Oh yeah. If you chant, you'll be really happy. Really? Surprising everyone, he said. So, he asked, what time you chant? You guys chant. Today, every day, our first service happens at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we all sit and chant. So, I'm PhD, I have so much money, I have power now as a minister in London. I'm not happy. So if I chant, I'll be really happy. Oh yeah, if you chant, you'll be happy. He said, then I'll come to it. Come and attend Mangalarti tomorrow. Can you imagine ministries coming and attending your Mangalarti? I think he came on Sunday. So Monday nobody comes usually. So, but ministry is coming, means TV will come. All the devotees came to attend Mangalarti. Actually, they wanted to show him Mangalarti. Our kirtan is very ecstatic, right? When this many people, if 20 people are there, you become ecstatic actually. But what happened? Mangalarti is over. The ministers, they don't come on time anyway. Narsingarti is over, Tulsi Arti is also over. All the ecstasy is over. Now what next? Japa. Now they said they want to leave. Ministry has not come yet. Then they got a phone call. Ministry is on his way. Please wait. Then the temple manager said, wait, ministry is coming. So then they know they cannot leave, right? They want to tell, chanted you. If you chant, you'll be happy. Minister came. When minister came, devotees were chanting. He could not believe his eyes. They were all sitting and chanting one day. Another day, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. And one more devotee, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Minister said, Hare, you said chant and be happy. I don't even see one devotee happy. Probably they realized their mistake, but I think whoever was there, very intelligent preacher. They asked, sir, can you control your mind for 5 minutes? He said, definitely not. Mantra, man means mind, tra means liberates. Manastrayata iti mantra. This entire spiritual process is all about controlling the mind. Once the mind is controlled, you will be fully happy. This chanting is actually the process to control the mind. Our problems are because of the uncontrolled mind. Do you agree? He said, of course. So, our founder said, chant, struggle to control the mind, then you will be happy. But that is missing. Chant and be happy, but in between there is something hidden. What is that? Chant, struggle to control the mind, and then you will be happy. So right now all these people, they are trying to control their mind. Eventually they will control their mind, they will be very happy. Minister said, oh. Preacher said, ah. Then they gave him the beads. You try this. He tried. So what is that invisible chant and be happy? Chant, struggle, and eventually be happy. So right now what phase is going on right now for us? Struggle phase is going on. Yes, Phil, Prabhu? So struggle phase is going on, that time it appears it's poison. Bah! But once, if you keep on doing that, the Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava stage, you'll come to know your spiritual form also. You'll come to know your relationship with Krishna also. You will come to know your service to Krishna also. That's why every day you come to Mangalarti is an eternal credit. You chant your rounds, it is an eternal credit. You do service, it is an eternal credit. With Krishna, anything you do is an eternal credit. That is Lord Chaitanya's. What is the biggest contribution of Lord Chaitanya? You know? Prema rasa niryasa karite aswadan ragamarga bhakti loke karite pracharan. He came to experience Radha Bhav and he came to give Raga Bhakti, Raga Marga. Means there is no question of thinking whether I should go to Mangalarti or not when you are Raganaga devotee. I will go only. Your attraction for Krishna is unlimited. So Lord Chaitanya made bhakti very attractive. So I have a question for all of you. You want chanting? No. You want gulab jamun? Oh yes. You have attraction for gulab jamun. So likewise, Lord Chaitanya made kirtan attractive. Lord Chaitanya made, prasad attractive. Service attractive. So whatever is very difficult to achieve, Lord Chaitanya made this very easy. He camouflaged it to make it very sweet. That's why Rath Yatra, everyone comes from New York. Why? Oh yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So at the end, you'll get wonderful prasad. End result is great. But Kirtan is also great. So, that's a Kevala Ananda Kanda. Krishna consciousness means only happiness. But of course, we make our progress is based on 99% of our chanting, Prabhupada said. Out of 99%, but chanting includes service also. So, initially there will be struggle, but at the end, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam will attain victory over material energy by following this happy process. But there is a little bit struggle, of course. That's what I want to speak today. Hare Krishna. If I have spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as your humble servant. I am like a hog. Maharaj is sitting here. Mahabhagavad devotee. So please forgive me if I have spoken anything wrong, but very grateful for your patient audience. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, you want to add anything, Maharaj?
I did have one quick question, if I could ask.
Yes.
So you had mentioned in the beginning, you gave a very nice description about how the world's pleasures are fundamentally not going to give us contentment. But I wanted to ask this about, book distribution too, because sometimes when we're distributing books, we come across an individual, maybe in the park, enjoying the sunshine. And enjoying the sunshine. And you tell them that, material pleasure is nothing in it for you. And they'll say there's nothing in it. There's nothing in material pleasure. This world is a world of misery. And they'll say, no, I feel very content actually. They say I'm very content. I'm very content in my life. I have simple things, but I'm content. And of course we know this nonsense. If they're not actually engaged, then we know that it's nonsense. On some level their mind is causing them suffering. That they are actually suffering. But what is a nice way to address such people who they're actually in like a deeper level of illusion because they're actually convinced themselves that they are content in some way, even though they are still suffering. They're not willing to even admit it. They don't have the insight to necessarily admit it.
Prabhuji, in 1 minute it is difficult for sure. One day I asked this class, For years, I asked this question, is there anybody 100% happy? Nobody lifted hand till this day. Nobody. Then 90%, nobody lifted. 80%, nobody lifted. When you say 60%, few hands will raise. 50%, some more hands will raise. But one day, one guy raised his hand. Anybody is 100% happy? Raised his hand. 100% happy. Prabhupada says, only fool number one. Prabhupada said that. So during book distribution, in 1 second, it's not easy to convince. Or what you can do is, simple answer is, you're already happy. These books will make your life much better than that. You'll be more happy if you're already happy. Your life will be ecstatic if you take these books. You made a point. You cannot cut the illusion. Prabhupada can cut the illusion in 1 second. We cannot. So you say, if you're already happy, this will make you, more happy. Take it.
People who are already religious, they already say, I've got God in my life. He's also, what to say, but is it just, you can't go any further with that?
I'm not such a big book distributor. Let me tell me, maybe Gopal Champu and, Maharaj actually, Maharaj, you want to answer his question. So give the microphone to Maharaj actually.
Well, usually the idea is we hear in Bhāgavatam that as long as someone is convinced of material happiness, then the resolute determination of Krishna consciousness does not take place. So Krishna is the property of the materially exhausted. So we generally hear that, and as you say, it's true that at that very moment in time, they may not be experiencing acute distress, but that's just a moment in time. In general, we know that later on in their lives, they have their dark moments, and it's hard to wake someone up from that sort of superficial feeling of happiness, because people really grab onto it. Most of life is either people are fearful, bored, anxious, looking forward to something, but they're not happy in the moment. So when they feel a little bit even, they sort of feel like this is nice, and they want to hold on to that moment. But it will later on, fade, because that's the way material life is. That's the way material happiness is. It's never temporary. It comes and goes. But it's hard to wake somebody up in that particular kind of attitude. So, we have to wait for them to catch them at the moment where they're serious. And as long as people are sure that tomorrow or the next day, by my material scheme, I will become happy, as long as a person is in that conviction, then spiritual life will not, they will not take spiritual life seriously, But when a person has finally come to the end of material hope, when they become hopeless about material life, then they can take spiritual life seriously. And it's a matter of time, and it's a matter of moments, Someone on one moment might have that realization, and the next minute not have that realization, and then the next minute have that realization again, So it depends on catching people sometimes at the right time. So what's to be done? That's why if we pray to Krishna for mercy, then Krishna will give the right moment and give the right attitude at the time that we connect with them, and we can broker them into Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it's a hopeless task. That's how I would respond.
Anything else? Anyone else? Yes, bro.
A little over time, but I think this is an important point. Last time you had mentioned some tips on japa, and you said you can give some more next time.
Oh, yeah.
So, I was wondering if you have some more tips for us.
Last time I said this. Second, one tip is, Lord Chaitanya says, Harinam, Lord Chaitanya is the incarnation in the holy name, and Mother Sachimata is the tongue. So focus on the tongue. The holy name is originating, of course, originating from inside, of course, but focus on this, and that from the holy name is originating here, enter into the ears and enter into the heart. You can see this actually. Holy name is, you can meditate on the tongue. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then it will enter into the ears, then enter into the heart. Heart is dirty. For example, I give this example all the time. You have invited some devotee, from the office. So come to my home at 6 o'clock. You told in the office. So what happens? You are late, you are stuck in the traffic jam. By the time you reached home, they are already there at the entrance. So you go and say everything is dirty, So you say, I'm sorry, you start taking the pillows, putting everything, sir, come and sit down here. So likewise, when you invite, when you chant the holy name, Radha and Krishna, they come. Lord Chaitanya comes. So, but this heart is dirty. So the vibration is entering. Actually, no, whatever I'm telling, you can do that for few mantras and few rounds. Your chant, meditate on the tongue. First thing is you have to chant the mantras very clearly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, pause. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, pause. Otherwise, this Hare will, I have seen, overlap with the Hare of Hare Rama. First thing is pronounce the mantra clearly. Second thing is, this one I told last time. Third one, focus on the tongue and let it enter into the ears. Then the vibration is entering into your heart. And what are the example I gave? Heart is dirty. My Lord, please sit down in the core of the heart. I'm very, very sorry, my heart is dirty. So, if you meditate, this whole thing as a process you meditate. Mind, what it does, anything you do over a period of time, mind will find it boring. Mind will take you away. Before mind takes you away, you should take the mind. That's what I've seen. I'm doing for this many years. I meditate, at least 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds you can do this. Then you can change it. See a while, you can see one more, fourth one. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the 4 mantras I chant, I increase the intensity. Only 4 mantras I focus. I increase the intensity, and then come to the first one, only slow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So mind says, what are you changing? Why are you changing? So what next? What is next? What will be the next mantra? What is the intensity? So mind will wait that. That's what you want. That is the 4th tip. This is how, if you keep on doing it. And one devotee told me, you have been to Vrindavan, right? Govardhan, right? So he told me, entire Govardhan Parikrama he does it. Dangati. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you're offering obeisance at Dangati. Going forward ISKCON. So by chanting, you're seeing everything. He said, in 2 hours I do the entire Govardhan Parikrama. Many devotees do that. If any of those devotees who have attraction for Govardhan, they do that. Okay, you go to Radhakund, or go to, okay, what is that, Varsana. But very important thing is hearing. You are going there, but you should not, they should be very attentive also. So sometimes there will be 2 tracks, that's okay to begin with. You're thinking and hearing, that's good. But slowly these 2 tracks should become 1 track. Usually what happens, 1 track means only hearing. What is that? Varsana Maharaj said this actually. There should not be 2 tracks, it should be only 1 track. But as long as you hear, that is fine. Hearing is important. Whenever I was in anxiety means I am fallen, my Lord, please. It worked. That is the next one. I have a few more later. Hare Krishna. Śrīla Grandhara Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. And one time I asked actually Vaisesha Prabhu, Prabhuji, you are telling Shuddhanam is a state of consciousness, not a technique. I am applying all the techniques, then what is the use? Should I apply or not? He said, very good, apply. You are applying techniques means you are sincere, he said. So Krishna understands, you are trying to focus. Rather than, if 13th round is going on, still I cannot focus. Anyway, I'll next 3 rounds. And no, 13th round also you should try to focus. So, though it is a state of consciousness, Shuddhanam is state of consciousness. If you try techniques, it means Krishna understands you are sincere. And sincere means, okay, can go forward. So eventually Krishna will best.